So if you're ready to roll up your sleeves and get serious and build any business you want to build out there in the home-based business industry, your choice. I mean, you pick from the buffet. We can help you do that. All right. So what do we got here? We got 7:02. I think that's a good time to get started. I'll give a couple other people a chance to sneak in here quickly that were supposed to pop in on my Facebook feed here. All right. I'll get started. Yeah, it's 7:03 in the mountain region here, 9:03 in the East Coast. All right, well, we'll get started right now. So for those of you that are on here and you haven't met me yet before any time in the past, my name is Val Smith. I'm going to be hosting and presenting this. I created this concept, actually. I don't own the concept totally. I own the idea of the concept, but Jeremy Duncan runs the whole program from his beautiful home in Michigan, and Tracy and I basically oversee everything here on this end of things. But anyhow, creating this concept, I went to Jeremy. I said, hey, I got a great idea. There's a lot of people struggling out there on the internet. Jeremy and I and Tracy were working in other programs, spent $90,000. We spent $9,700 on leads. We took that $9,700, we dispersed it amongst I think it was either 4 to 6 different lead companies, whether it be, I don't want to name the companies. I won't do that. Just, I won't do it. I won't name the companies. But anyhow, they were to send traffic to our website. To make a long story short, we had 142,000 clicks on our link. 142,000 clicks out of $9,700. I think we had over 17,000 opt-ins. I kid you not. There was over 17,000 opt-ins because the business opportunity was really cheap. It was right down everybody's price point. And the interesting thing is we didn't have one sign up. All right. Now, signups could have been generated if we called the people, interacted, engaged, closing techniques. But the actual funnel system, the marketing system that people went to, it worked, it produced. But what we discovered after talking to a gentleman that basically built our funnel, our marketing system, he's been in the industry for over 27 years. He professionally builds funnels, marketing systems. He told me right away, he says, you're getting copious amounts of traffic to your website. He said they're all coming in at 25-second intervals. He says there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. So anyhow, we concluded that the $9,700 was to be flushed down the toilet. It was basically, an experiment that went south. The traffic wasn't real. Not one person that opted in any which way, shape, or form ever saw the color of the website, never saw one letter on the website. They were never there. So the lead industry is very sketchy right now. Generating leads is very sketchy right now. A friend of mine out of Atlanta, he used to sell over $1 million worth of leads a year. And he just said, as one of the top lead providers out there in North America, the lead industry is just not what it used to be. There's all kinds of government regulation that goes along with it. We can't seem to target leads the way we used to. There's just a lot of red tape, and therefore it's really difficult. And most of the leads you do get anyhow are what? Sorry, I have birds in the background. Most of the leads that you do get are what? They're kind of, wishy-washy. You buy a whole bunch of leads and people are looking for a job, or people say, I don't know anything about this, or I don't remember opting into a website. So all these variables were something that was really important to me in creating this concept in my head. Woke up one night and just kind of visualized what needed to take place here. And here's what I saw. All right. Here's what I saw, not only from my perspective, but hopefully your perspective. I saw that marketing has changed drastically. I see a regression in marketing. I don't see a progression in marketing. I don't see people progressing forward. I see people moving backwards. And a lot of that has to do with people have lost faith. People have lost money. People aren't feeling good about a lot of things in the industry. They still have a dream. They still want to make money. They are looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's no question about it. But every time people try something, it's not working. And then you also have the marketers that promise spillover and stay in bed and be brain dead. I'll build it for you. Hey, if you let the company whack your credit card, I'll guarantee you get 3 sales. And, all kinds of little, naughty type of mischief, misleading promotional schemes that people do to desperately take money out of people's pockets. It doesn't work that way. If you want to clean up your bedroom, clean it up yourself, or pay somebody, $40 an hour to come clean it up for you. So the bottom line is we really need to take charge of our lives. We need to take charge of what's going on out there in the internet. We really need to, start initiating all the good, healthy, techniques and methods of operations in order to succeed. So the best way I know how to do it is explaining it to you this way. I'll get right to the point pretty quickly here. So what I came up with was Mark Zuckerberg is making billions of dollars because he had an idea about creating a playground, a social community. He called it Facebook. So the vision that came to my head was, how do we capitalize without reinventing the wheel? How do we capitalize on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook playground? Well, I know the ultimate dream for people all over the world is to stay on Facebook. They don't want to leave Facebook to go to Zoom calls. People don't want to leave Facebook at all in case they miss something. They're looking for notifications. They're looking for direct messages. They're looking at the news feed. They're looking at all kinds of things, marketplace. Facebook has become its own planet. And so thinking about it, I thought, well, a lot of people would just love to sit on Facebook 3 to 4 hours a day, 3 to 5 hours a day, 5 to 10 hours a day if they could. They would love to get paid for it. So how could you pick up a paycheck for having a profile on Facebook? Really, how could you pick up a paycheck having a profile on Facebook? And the best way I knew how to do it was to create a compensation plan and totally monetize Facebook. And how do you monetize Facebook? Well, you build software, you create a community, you call it FB Lead Gen. And what you do is you offer people the opportunity to empower themselves, not only financially, but in their physical positioning in the Facebook environment. A lot of people out there join business opportunities. They post on their profile, they post in groups, they get no leverage. They are not influencers, they're not big names. A lot of these people are almost like just a grain of sand on a beach, in California. And that grain of sand will never be recognized, edified, sought after, or even, stepped on. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people feel like that's their marketing right there. Nobody cares about the blah, 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 blah. So we decided to change that, and we said, okay, we're going to build a compensation plan. We're going to call this FB Lead Gen. The whole idea was to create leads, the best leads in the world potentially. And what do I mean by the best leads in the world potentially? None of this bogus crap, from solo providers and traffic exchanges and, all this stuff. The best lead you could possibly have if you're a business opportunity person seeking to build a business opportunity is what's called a guaranteed networker buyer lead. What's a guaranteed networker buyer lead? That's a great question. It's somebody that has network marketing, affiliate marketing, entrepreneurial marketing experience on the internet, and they've spent money in the past, and they've spent money in the last, 2 or 3 days. That is the type of lead you want. Okay, so what we did is we created this community. You pay to get into the community, and it's next to nothing. It's a beautiful thing, next to nothing. You pay to get into the community, and what you're going to receive, all right, is the opportunity to not only receive access to a whole bunch of new clients, but we're also going to help you with your algorithms. We've got a 5-click system that you must go through first before you get into the back office of your website. So normally when you go to a company, you get a website, you sign in, username, password, you're in the back office. Ours, you sign in, username, password, boom, you come up against a wall. And the wall is click on these 5 links. And what it does is it wants you to like, love, share, or comment on your fellow community members' posts, whatever it is they're advertising. They want you to look at it, all right? So this offers the ability to empower people within the community, give them some, incredible enhancements in the algorithms of Facebook, and or their ad, whatever it is they're doing, you get a chance to see it, and it just basically takes them from a nobody, and it starts elevating their ability to get recognized out there on the internet. Instead of having, a total dead profile or a half-dead profile or, a profile that doesn't have much action. Now we have the ability to, as a community, empower people, all right, as well. And with 2.6 billion people out there on Facebook, we can totally rock this program. All right? All right. So what the influencers do, I'll just give you a little quick background. What the influencers do are people that you see out there that have 35,000 comments or 18,000 comments and 99,000 likes and love hearts. A lot of these people are using what's called a mobile phone farm, and they're used for social media. You have a team. It's like a boiler room operation. You have a team of people, usually in a third world country. They work for about $5 a day. You can set them up for $5 to $10 a day, and you have about 20 people cranking out and making yourself look like you walk on water in the home-based business industry or in Facebook, and you get recognized. Influencers do that too. It basically, distorts the algorithms in their favor, and that's what goes on behind the scenes. We don't do that, but I just wanted to give you a quick history as to why somebody might have 100,000 views in one day. There's some little snaky, tricky things going on behind the scenes a lot of the time. So with our system, it's a very simple system. Follow 3 steps. Step 1, before you go into the back office, give your community members some likes, loves, shares, comments, follow. This gets the algorithms working for you. This also gives you the opportunity to generate leads that I'll talk about in a few seconds. If you're willing to share this to the people that are hurting out there on the internet right now, there's a lot of money being wasted on leads. There's a lot of money being wasted on business opportunities and product purchases when people do not have anyone to bring into the business with them. All right? A lot of people are going into debt in home-based businesses. We can eliminate that. So I'm going to show you how we can make thousands of dollars per month here, as well as in your primary business, all because of this community. So this community is about putting your presence out there on the internet like steroids. All right? All right. So here's what I want you to think about. We're going to make a couple of changes here, by the way, just so you know. So you're going to be able to build a list now unlike anything you've ever built before in your life. And some of you have never built a list, but you need a list. All right? I've done really well in this industry. I've been in this industry for 47 years. I've had over 3 million people in my downlines. I've had over 2.6 million people come through my courses. Even Russell Brunson was one of my students. Bob Proctor and I go back to our days in Toronto. I was a catalyst behind the scenes to create the movie The Secret. I can explain that story to you someday, and I'm going to bring that story out to the world here soon. There were 5 of us that basically helped Rhonda indirectly launch the movie, the book, The Secret. And we were the originators back in 1994, and I'll explain that. But I'm telling you that so you know this is not my first rodeo. I've been around the game for a long time. There's nothing I don't know. So anyhow, knowing what we know about the industry, list building dominates. We've had some people come into this business opportunity. We had Darius pop in, we had Mac Mills pop in, we had Carlos is here. There's some people that have come into this business, this little community that I'm talking about and presenting before you right here, right now, tonight. We've had some people come in here and knock out $6,000 in income in their first 3, 4, 5 days. Anywhere from $370 to just under $10,000 in their first 10 days. How's that? Is that pretty good? Imagine if Facebook paid us to have a profile to hang out like we're doing here and being a part of community and, not having to do other things, just share people a better way of making money in a social arena, So basically what we're doing here is we're giving you, the people, when you come in, and I'll explain the comp plan and how much it costs in a second, we're giving you access to the genealogy. So imagine being in an MLM company and it won't work for them because it's not the right thing for them to do, but it'll work for us because we're a social community. We're going to give you the genealogy. So if there were 17,000 people in this company, we'd give you the genealogy for like 17,000 people. Oh, sorry, I went ahead there. Isn't that pretty cool? So right now, what we can guarantee you coming out of the gate here is we can guarantee you 2,000 leads coming out of the gate. And if you take a look at this, anyone who joins after you, if they're not in your matrix, your genie. So let's say you were in right now, a paid subscriber, you see 2,500, leads, first name, last name, email address, optional Facebook profile, so you can connect with these people. Here's what I want you to think about. As people come in every day, every minute, every hour, every week, every month, they're all going to be added. So you might have 2,500 today. Next month, you might have 3,700. That 25 could now add up to 3,700. You're going to get all of that. Whatever comes in the company, you're going to get. Isn't that good? So these are connections. The connections that I have with all of you are from Facebook. Any of you that are on this call tonight, I only met you because of Facebook, and some of your strongest relationships and friendships are going to come from Facebook, not high school, college, or university. They're going to come from people that you network with, you're like-minded, you see the world through the same eyes, you connect with these people. They were once upon a time strangers. So to be able to have a networkers list of this magnitude, this power, all right, and this is added upon every single day, so your list gets bigger and bigger and bigger because you're a paid member. These leads are valued at anywhere from $5 to $10 per lead. So if that's a true statement, and I give you $2,000 for you agreeing to come into this business because you're smart, what's five? Let's go to $5. What's 5 times 2,000? That tells me it's $10,000 worth of leads. And these are leads that aren't like 19 years old or 19 days old or 3 months old or 5 months old. These are we just put this into play 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So you're going to be getting a list of people that have come into this business. All right, it may be 2,000. It'll be minimum 2,000, or it may be 3,000. I don't know. There's there, but minimum you'll come out of the gate with 2,000. All right, that's pretty cool. That's a hell of a lot better than running Udemy ads out there on the internet to a bunch of people that don't exist, and that costs you $300. And now everybody sits here and they say to me, well, if you're going to give away 2,000 leads, fresh network marketing leads, guaranteed buyers, because they buy into business opportunities. Couple things they ask me. Here's one of the big questions people ask me. They say, well, all these people that come into your FB lead gen community, they must be other entrepreneurs building other business opportunities. And the answer is yes, and the answer is no. The answer is probably more yes than it is no. So what do I mean by that? That's a great question. The next question would be, well, they're already in business opportunities. They wouldn't be interested in anything I'm doing. Are you freaking kidding me? That's a silly statement. Why would I say that? Because if any of you understand how to play chess, if any of you are resonating at a higher level of consciousness in this industry, and if you watch what goes on Facebook, people are junkies. They're transitioning every 7 days, every 30 days, every 45 days, every time there's a new pre-launch. Gone are the days when the majority of marketers are loyal and faithful to the relationship they have with the company. People are in desperate mode. People are feeding off desperation, fear of loss. They don't want to miss out. So they join business opportunities, and the marketing today manipulation to get a person to say yes. So not to be negative, but just to explain to you how the game of chess is played. You study the board, you make the moves accordingly. Study the board, make the moves accordingly. Position yourself so you're in front of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 network marketers. Have an incredible offer, and in several days or in 14 days or in 30 days, when they realize the program they just joined 14 days ago or 7 days ago or 30 days ago or a month and a half ago is not working for them because they really don't know how to work the program anyhow, an opportunity to, in that time and space, influence their subconscious mind into making a decision to want to join forces possibly with something else you're doing. And if that doesn't work, what's make some money here in the community. Would that be pretty cool? So this could be another side gig, another source of income. Valuable, you could sell this list. Listen, you could take this list of 2,000 people right here, right now, today. Then you could sell it to somebody for probably $300-400. I'm telling you. And if that sounds like it's too much for you because you don't believe that statement, you could sell it for $50 times 2 or 3 times. You don't get network marketing lists out there. It's almost not possible. All right. So you have the opportunity to access an ever-growing community. You get to download the database whenever you want, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. Collect all members' information, first name, last name, email address, potentially Facebook profile. You own that list. That's yours. Okay. We also threw in the back office because we see a lot of these savings clubs popping up. So we thought we would throw in one of the best packages out there that all the other companies have too. The beautiful thing about Benefit Hub, I know many of you are familiar with it. And you're probably not thinking straight. You know, I wasn't thinking straight about this. You could care less probably, but we got people saving on car insurance here, and you've heard that on the other Zoom calls, but we really do. Some of my buddies here that are in this program with us, my buddy Mark in Idaho, he went from $82.04 a month in his car insurance down to $31. All right. And my buddy Kevin went from 272 or 270, I can't even remember, about 270. He's down to like $120. He had a few insurance claims. He had a Mustang. So anyhow, there's all kinds of savings here, thousands of dollars in savings. And the really cool thing about Benefit Hub that most of you don't even know, you think it's strictly for the United States of America. Yes, a lot of the offers are, but there's savings in 21 countries around the world. So that's really cool for the international community. I have some friends that are in another savings club, MLM, out there on the internet. They're from Sweden. Some of them are from Scotland, and they can't save any money with that program. At least that's what they believe. So anyhow, we found something here that might compensate for some of the weaknesses out there. All right. There's some little comparables right here. I don't want to get into all of that stuff. That's nice. If you can save money on a bologna sandwich or a chicken noodle soup, God bless you. That's nice. I want to get into the money. All right. I'm here because there is money to be made. If we can tap into intelligent people, if we can tap into entrepreneurial people, people that think their life is worth more than a paycheck, people who think their life is worth more than a freaking hourly wage. If we can tap into people that would understand this simple concept, remove all the negative energy, remove all the psychological baggage, remove any forms of resistance from your thought process just for 1 second, and let me show you utopia. If Mark Zuckerberg right here, right now, tonight, made an announcement on Facebook and said there's going to be a cost to be a part of Facebook, we're not just going to take all the money and get richer and richer and richer so we can challenge Elon Musk to be the richest person in the world, but we are going to turn Facebook into an MLM opportunity, hypothetically speaking, in a hypothetical world. How many people do you think would join if they knew they could be compensated? There would be over 1 million people in this program in 24 hours. Probably a heck of a lot more than that. I just don't think they'd have the software to handle how many people would come pouring in. So we did it at a micro scale. We said, wow, you got a Facebook profile, you want to be part of a Facebook community, $50 a month. Join for $50 a month, a one-time $10 administration fee, and we will pay you out the wazoo. And we won't just pay you once a month or once every 60 days or, weekly payout. We'll pay you daily. We have people that are tapping into their back office and withdrawing money daily or 3 times a week. The beautiful thing is we pay. You literally get to touch it, feel it, smell it, cash it, spend it. You get paid. There's a lot of other companies out there that are in pre-launch that take all this money from all the hype, smoke and mirrors and grand illusions, and for some unorthodox reason, they forget to pay the commissions, and in some case, they forget to deliver the product. That's not us. We've got the product. You're going to get your leads. For $50, you're accessing potentially $10,000 worth of leads. And if that's just too much for you to believe, multiply 50 cents a lead times 2,000 minimum. There's $1,000 right there in exchange for $50. Nowhere on the internet is that offer being presented that I am aware of. We're running a 3x10 forced matrix, 3x10, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, 729, 21, 87, 65, 61, 19,683, 59,049, grand total of 88,572 people. Are you going to have 88,572 people in your matrix? The answer is no. And who cares anyhow? All right? That would give you a chance to earn 88,000, 572. You're going to have 88,000? No. But let's say you had 10% of that. Let's say there was 8,000 people in your matrix times $1 per level. Take a look at the bottom. Matrix payments, $1, 10 levels deep. $88,000. Well, I'm talking 8,000 just to keep it real for some people. Most people can't imagine themselves making over $10,000 a month. 8,000 is realistic though, right? That's pretty cool. Think you can make $8,000 in an FB project? I think you could. All right. So here's our other bonus pay structure. First generation, anyone you personally enroll into the FB community, you get $25 every month. It's a $25 fast start, not paid once. It's paid every single month. Enroll 10 people in this incredible, once in a lifetime, never seen before operation. I just haven't seen this before. It's a networker's dream. 10 people would give you guaranteed $250 a month. We have some people that have put over 100 people in this program. They're guaranteed $25 a month times 100, $2,500 a month coming in. Here's something that's really unusual that you will probably very rarely see ever in network marketing, like in MLM. How many people do you need to be in profit here? 2. Why do you get, why are you in profit with 2 people? Why did I say that? Because if you sponsor 2 people in this program, you make 25 and 25, you broke even. Plus you have $1 in level 1, right? You have $1 in level 1 and $1 in level 1. That's $2. You're making $2. You're up $2, $52. Other companies, they only pay you like 50 cents or 25 cents or 10 cents. You're going to need 17 to 22 people just to break even. Here, you break even, 2 sales every single month. You are coasting in automatic pilot. The program is basically free for you. All right? One thing I didn't tell you is that anyone you personally sponsor, anyone they personally sponsor, that's worth $5 for every person they brought in. All right. So we've got one guy who's brought in, I don't know, 146 people, 144, something like that. Whoever his sponsor was is getting $5 times 144. I don't know how much that is. I know 100's $5. That's $500. Then another half of that, $250. So anyhow, they're earning about $720 a month just on the level 2 side of it. Never mind their first generation, plus all the $1 in the matrix. People, this is a compensation plan that puts money in your pocket as soon as possible. Today, in 2025, if people are not making money after 2 sales, they quit the business. If people have to wait for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sales to make money, if people have to wait for 17, 18, 19 sales to make money, they are not committed to the program. I get this question all the time. How many people do I need to have on my team in order to break even? Sponsor 2, you're in positive cash flow. $2 above breaking even. All right. Sponsor 3, well, you're doing all right. You've got $78 coming in. You can't do that in too many other programs. There's a lot of other sponsor 3 in another program. It doesn't pay you $78 like ours does. Other companies, Sponsor 3, you get $6. You get $4. You get $8. This front end permanent fast start is lethal. It's called, it just basically creates incredible retention that you would otherwise not be able to create. It eliminates the attrition coming out of the gate in the first 45 to 60 days because it's profit. The comp plan was built for profit. It wasn't built for hype, smoke, and mirrors. It was built for profit. So the numbers had to be right in order to balance the psychological components of what's going on in the distributor's head. There's nothing. I just can't find this comp plan out there the way it is here. It's got many advantages that other company owners should take a look at. All right, so lots of money to be made. Can be fun, can be exciting. We have an annual yearly membership. People can buy in for a year at $600. You get the commissions totally paid up front. It's kind of like a high ticket version. Instead of $50 a month, $600 for the year. And you can take a look at the fast start right there. You get everything. Your commission's up front. $312. Second generational sponsorship on that would be $72. And the matrix payments, $1 per level, 10 levels deep times 12 months in a year, there's $12. So you're pushing almost $400 coming out of the gate in commissions. And you'd be surprised how many people have generated annual memberships. We got some high ticket people here that just love taking, that $380 or whatever it is. I haven't added it up. It's close to $400 anyhow, just on those fast starts. So I don't know about you, but I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm definitely not dumb. I can tell you this. If you don't have a list, if you don't have connections where you can reach out to people, and somebody asked me, well, how do I reach out to people that are in the database here? I would just reach out to them very simply and just say, hey, Kim, hi, how you doing? Val Smith up here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Listen, I understand you're a part of FB Lead Gen. I too am a part of that community. Would it be okay if I added you as a friend and become one of your followers, and maybe you can reciprocate? Everything at first is organic, touch base, say hello, let people know you're a part of the same community. You have something in common, know, like, and trust, something in common. And then from there, you've got the list, and you can basically reach out to them through the list and maybe share with them, in a nice, subtle way, some of the offers that you have. All right. Doesn't mean they're going to buy your offers. But the way I look at it is if somebody didn't even want to buy my offers, because I've got some really cool offers too, I'm sure people aren't interested in because they might not resonate to the things that I resonate to make a lot of money. But the really cool thing is, because they're a part of this community, we're all making money together in the matrix. So you can use this as your primary income, your secondary income. Some people can use this for their mortgage payment, car payment. But the bottom line is you can get off this call tonight. I know you can walk off this call tonight and you can say, I'm not interested in that. Well, no offense, but I've done really well. I sold $91 million in courses on the internet. I'm not an idiot. Bob Proctor was one of my students. I'm not an idiot. All right. We shared the concept of captain and crew, conscious, subconscious mind, a lot of things that went into the secret from behind the scenes. And I'm going to tell you something. Anyone that says they're not interested in building a list or being connected to some of the most incredible online marketers in the world, their data, their information is in this genealogy. Never forget this. What I'm going to say to you right here, right now. Never forget this as long as you live. Because if you forget this, you're going to be broke for the rest of your life. All right? And I'm not saying anyone's broke on this call, but I would say that generally speaking to an audience from the front of a room. You want to know what the secret to life is outside of your spiritual belief system? You want to know what the secret to life is living here on earth to be successful? You can see it in politics. You can see it in the hierarchical structure of the money makers on the planet. Life is an inside job. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you're not interested in being connected to other network marketers or affiliate marketers because you're just not interested because you think sitting on Facebook doing nothing is a better way, shouldn't be in a home-based business. I'd get out of the industry. Honestly, there's no money to be made without building human connections. And some of the people that are in this list right here, right now, would never give any of us the time of day. They've got massive egos. They make big money. Some of them think they're God's gift to the world. They are not available to you. They're not available to me in some cases. But now you've got access to them because they are in the same community. Think smart when you get off this call tonight. Think very, 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 very smart when you get off this call tonight. For $50, you can have everything you ever wanted out of the network marketing industry in the palm of your hand. And that $50 is a joke because you're going to be up, a few $100s in no time here if you start working the business and inviting people to the best party on the internet. This is about building connections. No, it's not a dating service, but it's pretty darn close. You get to connect with some of the most prominent, gifted, talented skill sets on the internet today that can rock your world and help elevate who you are, what you're all about, and how much money you're going to make in the future. Your future is right here, right now, tonight. So I want to thank you all personally for taking the time to be on this call tonight. Appreciate you being here. We're going to be back again on Tuesdays and Thursday nights doing this presentation. I hope you take this seriously. I really, really do. Because you've got something here right now that other people out there on Facebook really need to learn about. And you're the carrier pigeon, and you're going to decide whether or not you're going to save some people out there from drowning on Facebook, because their options aren't looking too good out there right now. And we can basically throw them a life raft. All right. Love you all in spirit. Have an amazing night. Appreciate you being here. See you Tuesday. Bye for now.